Today I'm going to talk to you about the Longitudinal Survey. Normally when I talk to you about this, you get the economic spiel, but I'm going to kind of turn the tables and talk to you about the other part of our survey, which is questions from you. And we've done this since the first year that we've had this survey, just to show where we are. I guess Lee jumped ahead to the assessment part of the social economic description, but I guess I'm still in the activities. And then also, I'm a graduate student, so I'm hoping, that I'm one of those trained graduate students, the outcomes of this project, and then of course, other output as well. So this is an opportunity to talk to aggressive adopters of, no-till or whatever it may be, and it's your chance to really have an opportunity to ask them questions. We have 47 growers in our survey, and we again plan to survey them. We want to ask you, what do you want to ask them? So in the next 6 months or so, we're probably going to start making up another survey to go and ask these farmers. And this is kind of your last chance to say, if there's a particular question that's really relevant to your research, this is an opportunity for you to contact us and get it in the survey and work with us. And it's a great way to integrate as well. We know what you're working on and we can help you do that. So just a quick overview of what have we already asked? What data do we already have? This is pretty simple, no details, but this is give you an idea of the questions we asked. So in terms of agronomy, we've asked about rotation, information sources used to determine fertilizer rates, variable rate fertilizer if they're using that, nitrification inhibitor use, landscape and residue management, if they're managing for soil health, soil organic matter, pH. And then this last year, Chelsea wanted to ask about earthworms, so we're asking them about earthworms and if they see them. In terms of institutions, the government programs that they participate in, their extension use, the crop insurance that they're purchasing, biotics, we asked about weeds, insects, diseases. This last year we asked about which one do they think is their biggest challenge. Technology, what they're using for internet and their access to it, cell phone use, smartphone apps that they're using, social media and webinar use, precision ag technology. And of course, we asked them about weather and climate, which is a sticky subject, as Lee talked about, and sort of uncomfortable, but we asked them about that. So changes in weather patterns, opinions on climate change, perceived risks, and then just general grower information. So what are their acres, what do they think their annual precipitation is, their age, education. And I'm just going to show you just a few results that we found just to give you an idea of what we're seeing in our sample. So in terms of technology use, 55% can access internet on their cell phone, 28% are using social media, and 11% are using social media for farm purposes. So in terms of getting a hold of farmers through social media, we might not be there yet. Agronomic, we asked them what they are seeing in terms of changes for organic matter and pH. 37 out of 47 producers are seeing soil organic matter going up, so it's pretty positive. But most of our growers are also no-till, so that's great. In terms of pH, 22 said that they had pH that was decreasing, which most of us are pretty aware that that's a problem. This is the question, what's the biggest pest to you? Italian ryegrass got 7 votes, goatgrass got 5. Wireworm has 5 votes, striped rust has 4, downy brown rat-tail fescue, a lot of grasses in there. One person mentioned government has the biggest problem, which this was before the Farm Bill passed, so he had reason. We do work with Lee and JD, and we've asked, there's a crossover of questions they've asked and questions that we've asked. Some of the ones that Lee presented, we've asked our sample as well. This is just a few small ones. So we asked them if they're concerned about glyphosate resistance, which is the dark bar, and most of them are in the strongly agree category. In terms of the middle bar, that's the management timing for management has changed. Most of them are also kind of on the agree side. The last one, the lighter color, is consider partnering on purchasing equipment. A lot of them, as equipment expenses are increasing, a lot of them are willing to do that, but then there's a few that have got burnt on deals like that that are not willing to do that at all. So this is extension services that they use, and 79% are getting email updates from some sort of extension. 89% attend field days. So in terms of our sample, that's really where they're getting their information from us. This is local extension office use and local activities. 40% say they frequently are tapping into that resource 3 to 4 times per year. 42% say occasionally, 18% rarely. And this is just some general grower information. It's interesting in terms of average acres that wheat fallow, at least in our survey, is almost twice as many acres, which, considering only half of their ground is in productivity, I just found that really interesting. And in terms of education, 37% have a bachelor's degree in our survey, which is pretty high. 10% have a graduate degree. So I guess that's saying you can always go home and farm, I guess. Average age is almost 55. So in terms of age, we're not really that much different than the larger population. We asked them what changes in weather patterns that they've seen. So 30th straight year of continuous change. In Grandpa's day, we got hot desert winds, they dehydrated crops, irrigation in the basin changed all of that, which was the biggest change in their farm history. Starting to get into a pattern of colder springs, and because of that, they're experiencing shorter growing degree days. Used to be way more snow and cold weather, and we'd plant by the equinox, September 21st. It used to be that if you planted before Easter, you'd be doing it again. Then if you needed to have it in by Easter, and now you're back to not doing anything before Easter. That's ignoring that Easter changes every year, but I guess it's still a day. More variability in weather patterns, some rainfall but occurring at different times. Intensity of events, same precipitation but too much. There is no normal, not sure there ever was. Too wet, too cold, too hot, too dry. It's about how we describe our weather. And this guy has it right. It's a long cycle. It goes through cycles. The older you get, the more it stays the same. So if we're just around long enough, it'll be fine. At the end of each year, we ask them if they have any comments or concerns about the project, and this is just the motivation for us. They're anxious to see what we come up with. More power to us. Hoping you learn something. So am I. It's good to be working together. It's very interesting. And this person said, it is research we should be doing, trying to come up with answers. They just hope that it gets out in an understandable way in readable form. So I'm here to ask you what questions are viable to your research. What would be helpful for you to know? And this is kind of your chance to ask these 47 growers what they think or what they need. So get a hold of me or Kate, and we can work together.